My friends, we're not paying attention. It's. Oh, Miss Fullington just said a word. It's. Miss. Old. Round. Then. Until. What? Young. Good job. Now we're going to do our spelling words. Are we ready? Yes, we're not supposed to be yelling. We're only supposed to be saying the words. Tap. Tape. Thin. Fine. Cute. Ride. Rob. Robe. Cap. Cape. Good job. All right. Was that better, Jocelyn? My friends, I'm trying to help our friend online. All right, Jocelyn, are you able to hear?
Yes.
Okay, yay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with our sounds. So, guys, I need your attention right over here. You can just listen because you know the vowels. All right.
I can't see.
Stop presenting. All right, girls. So we have our vowels right here. Can you see our vowels? Awesome. All right. So yesterday, I'm still waiting. Kaylin, where's Mrs. Fullington? This direction. All right. So what we're doing today, guys, is we are learning about short and long vowels. And so yesterday we focused on the short A and the short I, correct? Yes? Yeah. So does anybody remember how the short A sounds? Ah. So right here it says alligator, right? So everybody say with me, alligator. All right. Now we have our long vowel sounds, and that's our long A. Kaylin, what's our long A? Yeah. So everybody say acorn.
Acorn.
Awesome. Now we're going to do all the rest of our vowels. Are you ready? Eagle.
Eagle.
Elephant.
Elephant.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Igloo.
Igloo.
Ocean.
Ocean.
Octopus.
Octopus.
Uniform.
Uniform.
And umbrella.
Umbrella.
All right, so those are our short and long vowel sounds, okay? So with that being said, we are also going to blend and read. Are we ready? So Mrs. Fullington's going to say it. Not. Cut. Pan. Quit. Pain. Quite. Cute. Note. All right, so now we're going to say a sentence. You ready? So let's listen. We use the round basket. Now the next one says, Mom gave me a homemade cupcake. Awesome. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to say our power words. And our power words, I need to pull these out. So if we have new power words, what does that mean? New story. Let me go ahead and So you ready?
Yes.
Oh, my friends, all that sound was just recorded. All right, we're ready? The first one is wisps. Everybody say wisps. So wisps are thin streaks of something.
Like a string.
So the wisps of tiny clouds floated in the sky above.
Like a string.
All right, the next one is tumbling. Everybody say tumbling. Tumbling. So something that is tumbling is rolling over and over. So everybody do a roll. Rolling motion. So that is tumbling over and over and over. Yes, that's tumbling. Yes. Ready? Murphy. Dixie. The next one is strokes. Everybody say strokes.
Strokes.
So strokes is when something strokes something else, it moves very gently. So let's hold an imaginary animal that's a baby, and we gently touch it. Or we pet. You can do a monkey. You can do a puppy. So that is gently stroking.
Miss Williamson, I remember when we had a dog and he's still alive,
Yes.
but he's now big. When he was a little baby, we used to put him on the couch and we used to stroke him.
All right. Next one is feud. Everybody say feud.
Feud.
Emma, I need you turning in this direction, sweetie. Feud. So yeah, they're disagreeing. So it says a feud is a long fight. It says my sister and I are in a feud because she takes my toys. That's in a feud.
Like my mom and dad have all the time.
Oh, we have so many people talking. Let's make sure our voices are off. Kaylin, hold your question. All right, everybody say frenzy.
Frenzy.
Frenzy is a time of great excitement and wild behavior. So it says the fish were in a feeding frenzy. So you might experience a frenzy at a birthday party because you're so excited you can't contain your excitement.
Whenever I went camping, I saw those fish we got to feed them.
All right, the next one is gasp. Everybody say gasp. Oh, let's try that again. Gasp. Gasp. So if people gasp, they took a sharp breath in surprise. So everybody gasp. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So we are gasping. Okay, I only said a brief one, not a long one. A brief one is short. All right, you ready?
So that's why her fainting.
Yep. Here's the next one. You ready?
It's just like some movies where they turn around and go,
Yeah, like a scary movie, right? Sometimes. All right, here's the next one. Everybody say plumes. Plumes. So plumes are long, thin shapes that look like feathers. So it says plumes of smoke from the campfire drifted up in the air. So all the smoke right here looks like tiny feathers.
That's what we learned in Miss Leo's class.
Did y'all?
It says plum.
It does look like it says plums, yes. In just a second, see. Ready? Here's the last one. You ready? Ladies. The next one is battleground. Everybody say battleground.
Battleground.
All right. Battleground
It's a ground
is
battle.
where a fight takes place. So it says this field once was a battlefield. So it says long ago a large battle was fought here.
Like in No Man's Land.
Yeah. So it says the living room can also be a battleground for a pillow fight. How many of y'all had a pillow fight? Silently raise your hand. Silently raise your hand. You've already done that pillow fight. All right. So what we're going to be doing, guys, is we are going to be reading a new story. And it is called The Great Fuzz Frenzy. The Great Fuzz Frenzy. So why don't you take a prediction, take a wild guess. What do you think that might be about? The Great Fuzz Frenzy. All right, whisper to your neighbors. Ready, set, go.
That sounds like a book.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a big fluff.
Yes. Fuzz Frenzy. Right now, we're recording our lesson, so you're going to have to wait, okay? Waterfall. All right, it is time to read our Fuzz Frenzy story. So let's see if your predictions are correct. You ready? All right, so go ahead and face the screen. So I'm going to present my screen over here for the ladies that are online. All right. But first, let's talk about our skill. Because we forgot to talk about our skill. So it's make connections. Everybody say make connections. Murphy. Right here, babe. Have a seat. When you read, find ways that the text is like things in your own life and other texts you have read. So it says it all starts right here with these 3 things. You ready? So there is text to self. You can relate to a book, to yourself and your own experience in your life. Now, this is a sentence that you will use if this ever happens to you. This reminds me of when and then you'd finish the sentence. Now, if it was a text to text, which means you read another book that's related to this book or is alike and similar, this is the sentence you're going to use. This is like another book I read, and then you would finish the sentence. Now, if you read a book and it reminds you of where you live, like your community or your school or your library, this is the sentence you would use. This is like something that happened in my community, or say, this is what happens when I go to school, just like this book. So those are some 3 different sentences you could use to make connections while we read. So we're going to go ahead and start reading our book. But first, what I would like to do, thank you, what I like to do is do a genre study. So that means we're going to prepare to read first, because we never jump into a story before we know what it is. So the genre study is a fantasy. What is a fantasy? Sydney, what is a fantasy? It's what? It's a made-up story. So it says here, fantasies are stories with made-up events that could not really happen. So as you read The Great Fuzz Frenzy, look for animal characters that talk and act like people. The next thing that you want to look for is the beginning, middle, and end of the story. And we also want to look for the setting. That's where the story takes place. But we also want to set a purpose. So as you read, make connections by finding ways that this text is like things in your life and other texts you have read. This will help you understand and remember that, okay? So it does have some of our power words. So it has gasp, frenzy, battleground, and feud. So you will find those highlighted in our story when we read it together. It's
It also tells you down there that they talk.
Yes.
And then you would say, oh, it's fiction.
All right, so we're going to take a little bit closer of who our authors are and our illustrator. An illustrator draws the pictures, an author writes the book. So let's listen. Uh-oh. Roy, hold your question, sweetie.
So need to be the typer?
Nope, that's okay. So you just sit right there with me, okay? All right, here we go. That way there's no echo.
Yeah, for that. Let's make it or for them on mine.
Okay, so let's see. Let me mute myself.
Susan Stevens Crummell is an award-winning author. Janet Stevens is an award-winning author and illustrator. They are sisters, and they make a great team. Susan and Janet have been working together on books since 1997. Susan enjoys traveling and sharing her stories at different schools. Janet loves to draw animals. Funny animals are often the heroes in her stories. Of all Janet Stevens's book awards, she is most proud of those voted on by young readers.
So that is Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummell. So they are sisters. Okay.
Miss Fullington,
Yes, Jocelyn?
it's happening again where I can't hear you.
Okay, go ahead and log out and re-log back in, baby. It may be your internet, because sometimes you are frozen a little bit. So you might have to log out off, log back in, okay? Jocelyn, are you able to hear again?
Yeah, it's just because I'm at my house, but we don't get really good internet over here.
That's okay, sweetie. It's gonna happen everywhere, and I think the rainy weather too doesn't make it very strong either, because at the school it does the same thing. All right, we're gonna start our story. Are we ready? All right, so let's listen.
The Great Fuzz Frenzy. by Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummell. Illustrated by Janet Stevens. Violet! No! Violet! Where's the ball? Woof! Down it went. Boink! Boink! Run for your life! Watch out below! Thump! Thump! Rumble! Rumble! Help! 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 Plunk! There it sat, perfectly still. The prairie dogs waited, perfectly still. Slowly, they crept out, inch by inch, dog by dog. What is it? A thing. A good thing or a bad thing? A round thing? A strange thing? A scary thing? What should we do? Don't touch it! Is it alive? Shh! Stand back! Boomed a voice. You act like gutless groundhogs, afraid of your own shadow. Oh no, it's Big Bark. Big Mouth is more like it. He's the meanest dog around. I thought he left town. Well, I'm back, growled Big Bark. So out of my way. Let me have a look. But before anyone could move, little Pipsqueak raced past Big Bark, reached out, and poked the big round thing. No, the crowd yelled. It's Fuzzy, said Pip. Oh, the crowd gasped. A tiny piece of fuzz was caught in Pip's claw. She looked at it, turned it, sniffed it. Then she put it on her head. Look at me. Ah, the crowd sighed. Quit hamming it up, you half-pint hamster, snarled Big Bark. I'm in charge. But those prairie dogs didn't listen. They had to have Fuzz. I like it. Me too. I want some. Do you? Oh, yes. So do I. So do we. So do they. Big Bark, move over. Get out of our way. They charged past him and grabbed at the fuzz. The prairie dogs pulled it, puffed it, stretched it, fluffed it, tugged it, twirled it, spiked it, swirled it. They fuzzed their ears, their heads, their noses. They fuzzed their feet, their tails, their toeses. Big Bark was beside himself. Listen to me, you ridiculous rodents. Stop this fuzzy foolishness. But those prairie dogs didn't listen. They were busy being hot dogs and silly dogs, corny dogs and frilly dogs, top dogs, funny dogs, super dogs, bunny dogs. You're all nuts, you squirrely fuzz freaks, yelled Big Bark, storming off. News of the fuzz spread from hole to hole, burrow to burrow, town to town. Soon prairie dogs from everywhere were coming to see that fuzz. They came, they saw, they picked. They twisted it, braided it, danced and paraded it. It was a fuzz frenzy, a fuzz fiesta, a fuzz fandangle. The whole prairie was abuzz about fuzz. They picked and pruned and pulled and pinched. They pinched and pulled and pruned and picked until the fuzz ran out. That big round thing was fuzzless, naked as a plucked chicken. Some prairie dogs got a lot of fuzz. Some got a little. Some got no fuzz at all, and they were mad. Give me that fuzz. Why? Because. It's my fuzz. Well, it was. Get that fuzz. Get that fuzz. Pulling, grabbing, swiping, nabbing, poking, jabbing. It was war. War between the fuzzes and the fuzz-nots. The peaceful town was a battleground. It was a fuzz fight, a fuzz feud, a fuzz fiasco. I started this, moaned Pipsqueak. I have to do something. Everyone, stop! Stop fighting! But those prairie dogs didn't listen. The battle raged on, friend against friend, cousin against cousin, dog against dog, until no one was left standing. They were pooped, fuzzled out, fast asleep. Hours later, the prairie dogs began to stir. Uh-oh, where's the fuzz? I don't know. Where did it go? Someone has stolen our fuzz, cried Pipsqueak. Who did? He did. She did. You did.
So I want you to make a prediction. Go ahead and whisper your answer to your neighbor. What do you think? Who do you think took the fuzz? So Jocelyn, who do you think took the fuzz? Hold on.
Okay, the one that was being really mean.
The one that was being mean? That's a good guess. Isabel, what do you think? Who took the fuzz? What was it again, Isabel? You got cut off, babe.
It was the mean one too.
It was the mean one. All right, so let's see. Waterfall. All right, let's focus. Let's see who took the fuzz.
I did, barked a voice from above. I stole the fuzz. The prairie dogs froze. Then they raced up, up the long tunnel. There stood Big Bark, covered with fuzz from head to tail. I'm king of the fuzz, he snarled. Do you hear me? I'm king of the swoop. The sky went black.
What do you think might have happened next? So go ahead and whisper to your neighbor. What do you think might have happened next? Something said swoop. So Jocelyn, what do you think might have happened?
I think that strong wind and that the fire.
Say it again, babe. You were cutting out.
I said there was strong wind and all the fur came off.
Oh, the fur came off. Ooh. Isabel, what do you think happened? All right. Waterfall. Oh, my friends, let's try it again. Waterfall. All right, let's see what happened.
What happened? Where's Big Bark? Look! There he was, high above their heads, dangling from the talons of an eagle. No more Big Bark, the crowd cheered. Yay! Don't yay! He's one of us, yelled Pip. We have to save him. How would you like to be Eagle's lunch? No! The crowd yelled. Big Bark, wiggle free! The prairie dog shouted. Shake loose! Hurry! We'll catch you! Big Bark twisted and turned, wormed and squirmed. At last, he was free of the fuzz. Yay! The crowd cheered. Big Bark fell faster and faster. No! Prairie dogs scattered. Get back here, yelled Pip. Quick, make a circle. Hold out your paws. They ran left, then right, then left. Plop! You saved me, Big Bark cried. But I stole your fuzz. Now it's gone forever. Good, said Pipsqueak. Fuzz is trouble, right? Yay! The crowd cheered. Friend hugged friend. Cousin hugged cousin. Dog hugged dog. We don't need Fuzz, said Pip. But with Eagle around, we do need a watchdog with a big bark. Big Bark rose up on his hind legs. Eagle's back. Bark. This is not a test. Bark. All dogs below. Bark. The prairie dogs raced down, down, down the long tunnel. Phew! We made it. That was close. 3 cheers for Big Bark, the best watchdog ever. Yip yip, yay! Yip yip, yay! Yip yip, yay! Just doing my job, Big Bark smiled. Are we ever getting tangled up with Fuzz again? Cried Pipsqueak. No! The crowd yelled. No more Fuzz! No more Fuzz! And from that day forward, the prairie dogs lived happily and fuzzlessly ever after.
All right. So that was the story of the Great Fuzz Frenzy. So now what I'm going to have you do is you're going into Seesaw. So Isabel and Jocelyn, do you have the reading book, the textbook? You do, Jocelyn?
Yes.
Okay. Isabel, do you have the reading textbook?
What textbook?
It looks like this, baby. Let me go ahead and keep your camera on so I can show you. It's this one right here, Isabel. Do you have this book?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, baby. Do you have it?
I can't see it.
Oh, this one right here.
No, I house.
You left this one? You don't have this one?
I'm gonna get
House.
Oh, guys, I'm trying to listen to Isabel and I can't hear her. So, Isabel, you're cutting out, sweetie. Do you know if you have that book? Maybe you can leave it a comment and see if you have the book.
Okay.
All right, guys, let me go ahead and show you in Seesaw while we wait for Isabel.
Right.
Yeah.
What did she send in the chat?
She said you.
All right, so let's go ahead and see into Seesaw what you're going to be using. My friends right here, you should be over here. You should be over here. I'm waiting. All right, so today's assignment, what you're going to be doing is we've already practiced this in class, but at home we have not, girls. So what I'm going to have you do with your book is you're going to page 238 in your reading book. That's the glossary. So what you're going to do is find your power words in the glossary. So we're going to try to use that and get the definitions. So how to do that? I'm waiting. Thank you. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to Seesaw. And here is the activity right here. So let me get into Miss Lil's activities. All right. So it's right here. It says Tuesday, September 22nd, power words. It says press the add response button. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh. Let me see if this is the right one right here. Sample. This is it. Okay. So it's right here. So we have 8 power words. And your job is to look in the back of the book to get the definition. And then you're going to draw a picture or give me an example of what gasp is. That's really simple. There are 2 pages. So there is 3 more on the second slide here. And it's the ones that we did together. So girls, if you don't have the book, give me about 10 to 15 minutes and I can load our recording that we just recorded ourselves. And that way Mrs. Flington has them right here. So that way you can rewind and listen to the video instead of looking for it in the book. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so she left her dad. We're coming. Okay, so Isabel, what I'm going to do, sweetie, is I'm going to upload our video for the reading, sweetie, and then that way you can listen to the definitions and then write them down, okay? All right, so my friends, okay, awesome. So my friends right now, if you can go into Seesaw and complete this activity, and Jocelyn and Isabel, do any of you girls have a question? Nope. All right, you may log out of this Google Meet, sweetie, and y'all have a good day, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
I don't have to do this every time I want to go.